Food stamps. Look, I'm seeing so much complaining about food stamps right now. Just a mentality of entitlement created by living off of government subsidies. I get it. Some people need it. My older sister has autism. She's 26 and has the mental capacity of about a second grader. Of course she needs help. Or if you're disabled or elderly or even both, look, food stamps, they're good when you need them, but for most people, they're not supposed to be a lifelong thing. And people who pay taxes should not have to bear the responsibility for your life decisions. And then you're going to hop on social media and complain and say you'll do whatever you have to feed your kids, except go get a job or actually do something honest? Here's our solution. Let's go out and steal, and we'll put pressure on the store clerks and police who are paying for the very subsidies that we enjoy, instead of the Democrats who are holding the filibuster. Honestly, though, food is the easiest budget to stretch, and don't act like there isn't churches or other organizations to help with childcare, or schools to send them to if they're old enough, so that you can go and work at Sheetz for $15 an hour. You know, I know from experience that you can buy a lot of rice and pasta on $15 an hour. Not to mention the churches and food banks that give out food. That budget is easy to stretch. Look, my mom busted her butt all my life so that my sisters and I would not grow up in that mentality, which ends up being a generational mentality of oppressed or oppressor. Secular humanism at work again. And frankly, people misusing these benefits are probably a bigger reason as to why these subsidies got drained so quickly after the government shutdown. And then people are hopping on social media acting like they're oppressed by the rich that won't give them their money, which they already have. Look, I know you don't like it, but the rich pay more in taxes than you do, and they're not obligated to give you or I any money. But I'm glad you're willing to do whatever it takes to feed your children. Accept what is honest. Let's go cause our fellow Americans pain. What kind of logic? Hey, my son was born 6 days ago, and the difference between you and I is that I'm going to work tomorrow, even if I don't want to. And if you were to ask my mother the same question, who was a single parent for a very long time, she would say the same thing. And two, this value isn't just some preconceived ridiculous notion I've created myself, but it comes from watching others break out of that lifelong curse, and it's biblical. Look at 2 Thessalonians 3, 7 through 13. For you yourselves know how you ought to follow our example. We were not idle when we were with you, nor did we eat anyone's food without paying for it. On the contrary, we worked night and day, laboring and toiling so that we would not be a burden to any of you. And we did this not because we do not have the right to such help, but in order to offer ourselves as a model for you to imitate. What kind of model are you being to your kids? Let's keep going. This is verse 10. For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule: the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat. And we hear that some among you are idle and disruptive. Sounds familiar. And they're not busy. They're busybodies. Sounds even more familiar. Yeah, such people we command and urge in the Lord Jesus to settle down and earn the food they eat. And as for you, brothers and sisters, never tire of doing what is good. Here's what I have to say to you out there that decide to hop on social media and complain about food stamps when you don't need them. How dare you? The example that you set for your kids, that you will go steal the food you need before you've tried getting a job or looking for help elsewhere, have some decency instead of putting pressure on decent people who don't deserve to deal with your generational curse. Find others and go storm the gates.